Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. Today we're going to be continuing on our week of non English speakers with a band that I thought had a lot of requests on YouTube in the comment section. Actually, did not. It was just a handful. Um, they are The Who. We have requests from MY or My, Tina Turnheron. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that one. Sam Andrews, A. Norris, and Jonathan Henderson. And Wolf Totem is by far the highest suggested one. So that's what we're going to be doing today. It's also very popular on YouTube as far as views go and how high up they are in the search algorithms. So obviously, this song's got to be doing something right. Let's see what they're up to. Is that just like the opening of a movie where you see like the companies that had a hand in it? That was interesting. I'm on the edge of my seat for this music to kick in. Very cool. It sounds like a shamisen, but it has like an electricness to it. Some call and response. Yeah, really digging the use of the Eastern instruments here. No! That's throat singing, right? I don't really hear it on the short staccato notes, but these long holds, I am fairly certain that is throat singing. Alright, so yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about here. Is that it? Do I take the headphones off? I think so. Okay, so yeah, lots of cool stuff to talk about there. Um, Not so much in the music. Well, actually, there are some cool things we can talk about in the music. I'm going to put that off for a second, though. I really want to focus in on the sounds of the band. All right, there's three core sounds. We have the upright bowed instrument, the horizontal plucked instrument. Well, not plucked. I think it was picked. I actually think he might have had a pick, and it might wasn't finger picking. But either way, it's a picked stringed instrument, and then the singers. There's more than one, and it fits so much of standard. If you kind of think about, I guess this would be kind of close to rock if we had different instrumentation in it, but it fits very well within that. Um, the picked instrument has kind of a bassiness to it and kind of sits underneath the upright bowed instrument. It sits underneath in the mix, and it kind of provides a sound floor for the bowed instrument to kind of do its thing over. And then the vocals are on top of that, even given a little bit more prominence in the mix so that they can have center attention when they are being sung. And in that sense, we sort of have a rhythm guitar bass element, and then a lead guitar, and then your singer. And but the thing is that obviously this doesn't sound like rock, and that's because of the timbres, the voices of the instruments. So we see some of the common archetypes that you might find in a rock band, but they're kind of repurposed and kind of wrapped up into different instruments. And the cool thing is, these instruments seem to have a lot of historic reference to the people in the band, and I think that's really awesome. Um, Both instruments and the vocal singing style, which I said earlier, I'm fairly certain is throat singing. They're all Eastern instruments and vocal types, and they have prominence in their culture and history. And I think it's really awesome to see that. We we have a rock template in the composition, but using much older vocal techniques and instruments. And I just think it's such a fascinating merger there to kind of use these, older styles of vocal and older types of instruments and kind of merging their sounds, their very unique timbres, with modern composition techniques. Very cool stuff there, all around. The sort of ingenuity to want to smash this together and come up with this sound, just huge props to that. The way that you can kind of mash your culture's history with your modern interests and come up with this. It's just pure genius, and they deserve, several rounds of applause and accolades and awards, whatever, just for, saying, hey, we should celebrate, uh, you know, my culture's past, my people's past, and, celebrate my present, my future, and just kind of mash them together. That's just, I love that. I do. Um, but the other cool thing is that they also incorporate, at least in this song, old compositional techniques. I mentioned that, well, when the song came in, I don't know if there's a traditional verse chorus to this. It is a repetitious song, for sure, but that's by design. There's two core elements in here that I can see. One is call and response, which sprouts up pretty much everywhere in history. Any culture that has found or created music early on in their lifetime have used call and response. Um, yeah, pretty much anywhere. Call and response is just such a universal technique that we've really grown away from outside of. No, I'd say that as a world, we have really grown away from using the call and response technique. But it's when you have two groups. Usually, the first group is smaller, maybe one person, sometimes maybe two, but I think more often than not, I've seen one person. You have your solo leader and then your group follower, and your leader will say something, and then the leader will say something in, a bar or two bars, and then the group will repeat back. Well, they can either repeat back what they just said, or they can have a response, a specific statement that usually follows the same rhythmic elements or the same phrasing. um, and you keep going back and forth. You have your caller speaking, the leading statement, and then you have your response, responding with either the secondary statement or a repetition of the lead statement. And this entire song is practically built on that. And like I said, it's kind of universal. Pretty much every culture's history has utilized this at some point in their history of music. And we just don't see it that often in modern music. So it's really cool to, hear this in a 20, well, I'm going to say at least 2010s band, I think. Maybe they're still together, which would be a 2020 band. I don't know. But, modern day, the 2000s, we're seeing some call and response stuff. So that's really cool. The other thing, though, is the chant. And that's when most prevalently seen in this song at the very end, when everybody is chanting the same syllable every beat. I think maybe it was every other beat. Um, Might have been every beat. And that took up, the last half minute of the song or so. But we also saw it in the middle of the song as well. So I'd say those are the two primary composition techniques that are utilized in here. And again, it's just not things that you see too often. So just to kind of further show how much they're pulling from their past or their culture's past or people's past, they're not only utilizing vocal techniques and instruments from before their time, but they're also utilizing composition techniques, at least for this song. And I think it's really cool, again, that they're just mashing up their culture with their modern, preferences and what kind of music they want to make today. I just really love that. You really can't go wrong, bringing the past and the present together like that. Well, I guess you could probably pull it off poorly, but then you could just call it art. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. You can't go wrong with it. You might not produce the most like this is obviously this has some mainstream ability to it. I can't say I've ever heard this. I don't listen to the radio. I don't have cable or anything like that. Um, I don't know if this is on any mainstream radio stations, but I think it has mainstream appeal. Which I know just saying mainstream appeal kind of, some people are going to get turned off by that, but it does, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's really cool that they have the possibility to introduce their culture to a modern audience and have people enjoy it. So, the wider the audience, the bigger the net they can cast, the more fish that they can get, more people that see their music, the more people that they can share their culture with in a very modern way. So yeah, really cool stuff all around. The structure of the song, like I said, was fairly repetitious, but it fits into what they were doing, which is the call and response and the chant, and kind of incorporating these older repetitious uh, compositional elements into sort of a modern production. So yeah, that was really cool stuff. This is where you guys can come in though. If you know the names of those instruments, hit me up. The upright bowed one, I've said it sounded like a shamisen, but the more I looked at it, I'm not thinking so. And the other instrument, the one that was picked, I can't say that I think I've seen it, but I don't even have an inkling of an idea of what the name is. Like I don't have anything that just crosses my mind. Um, like I don't even know. But yeah, you guys can hit me up with that. Is it throat singing? Um, you guys can let me know there, like I'm pretty sure, but confirmation always helps. That way, if I am wrong, I can correct that as soon as possible. I don't like to promote false facts, lies. I don't want to promote wrong ideas, telling people the wrong thing. Um, so yeah, any sort of correction or information about this band, their instruments, how they sing, any of that would be extremely helpful. One quick thing. I do want to say that the throat singing, they harmonized on it, and I did not know that was possible. A lot of the throat singing I have heard has tended to be monotone or, what's the word? Chromatic. Just basically any note you can hit in that tone, pulling the sound straight from the vocal cords, like a raw vibration of the vocal cords. Um, so I've never really heard anything that had targeted notes of harmony. Like that just sounds it sounds really cool, especially to my ears because I've never heard anything like it. Um, so yeah, cool stuff, cool stuff. And while you're down there in the comments, you can like, subscribe, and ring the bell. All three of those things help out the channel immensely. You can check out my Twitter or Patreon. Those links are in the description. And I have one more video coming out today, which will be the third non-English speaking one. And then tomorrow I'll be back at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why is that becoming so difficult to say? 5 p.m. EST, 9 p.m. UTC. We're just gonna do that. Three-letter acronyms, TLAs all the way. I'll be back then tomorrow to finish out the last two songs for this theme, and then we'll be back on track. Friday's song will come out on Friday. And then Saturday will be a Patreon picks. I don't know about doing Sunday, Selfish Sunday stuff right now. There are definitely bands I want to check out There are some new songs to bands we've checked out that I'm interested in, and there are a couple of bands that they're up and coming bands that have requested that I check out their stuff. Um, I want to get to all this stuff, but I just don't know if I have the time. As you saw, I started this week 2 days behind, so I think for the time being we're gonna hold off on the Sundays and we're gonna do 7 video weeks and see how that works. Um, just until I can get something back on schedule. Although next week school starts and that's all online, so I don't know. I guess just stay tuned. I will try to keep you guys updated as much as possible. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel because I do text posts when I'm late or when I'm behind or when I'm not going to get a video out. I try to keep you guys informed, and making a video just takes time. I got to set up the camera, set up the lights, even if it's just a quick 30-second. Hey, I'm not, hey, I'm changing the schedule. That's still 30 to 45 minutes, the entire process, and then uploading and creating a thumbnail and all that stuff. So for little announcements like that, it just makes more sense to me logistically to put out text posts. And I think subscribing is the only way to get notified of those. Because even if you check the channel every day, if you're unsubscribed and check the channel, you won't see the text posts, even though you will see the video uploads. So, yeah, I guess if you want to have those text notes and to kind of stay up informed about what the channel's doing and how I'm going about traversing the next month, I guess, just trying to figure out all this stuff and timing and all that stuff. Um, Text post subscription to the channel's the easiest way to go about that. Oh, also my Twitter. I post to the Twitter whenever I have issues as well. So either one of those processes is a good way to stay informed about the channel and any changes that might be going on. Any huge sweeping changes, of course, I'll make a video about. Um, but little things like not being able to put out a video or maybe a small change up in the schedule, text posts are probably the best way to do that. So, all right, I've rambled on. I'll be back tomorrow. One more video today. Yeah, you guys stay safe out there and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.